This was I was working on a different electric scooter. But after doing a ton of research for the past year and this year, I've moved on. Some things actually I realized that didn't work in the real world, so I had to scrap a few ideas because it just wasn't possible like that. So I did some research on my real um, electric scooter project. This one is a secret that I'm gonna keep for right now, but this one was this one was more of a fun kind of project. It did work, but I didn't test it out either. So everything in this video was filmed last year. Now, one of the main reasons I didn't release these videos was I was working on multiple projects, and this one was I quickly changed um my one of my you know my project ideas for the mechanical scooter project, but I realized that one might take a lot longer than I anticipated because there's just so many things that I just don't have the occupancy. Is that a word? No, the just don't have the stuff I need for it right now. So I might continue with this project for the um about making the Greenworks electric scooter. Um, I didn't release it because I never actually tested it, and I was too I don't know, I was too scared to kind of test that kind of stuff, with law enforcement and all that stuff, because I lived on a military base. So I was kind of worried about that stuff, and I didn't end up testing it. So, and even if I didn't test it, I didn't think the video wasn't interesting enough. Just because I was simply just making an e-bike, but in a cheaper way. Just because I was simply just making an e-bike, but in a cheaper way. But I think this video might have potential, so I think I'm gonna release it with most of the clips in here. Yeah, I'm gonna explain, so I hope you enjoy. I haven't filmed anything in a couple weeks, just because I've been working on ordering some stuff and making sure that I got the right components for it. But I have the motor here, and it's around 48 volts. I don't know if you can see. This feels premium, but it feels heavy, man. I don't know if you can see that. It's 48. Um, this is a brush motor because, um, I want to make the video look like interesting, to be quite interesting. Because if this was gonna be a brushless like motor build, it would have, and this would not be a normal video. This would just be like a boring video. Like if I did like a build on like a e-bike, like just a standard e-bike. In this video, I'm testing out different types of electrical electrical aspects that I could do with e-bikes. That's what I'm trying. I'm just testing out some stuff uh, that it could improve e-bikes. So this thing is heavy. It's 1,000 watts to 1,000 watts peak. At peak, it's gonna run on this. Hold up. It's gonna run 80-volt battery. It's an 80-volt battery from Greenworks, and I just charged it up last night. It's on 100%, 80 volts. It's got 2 terminals for it. Yeah, these 2 pins are meant for charging. It. I'm not gonna plug it into the battery because I plugged it into a little motor and it scared the heck out of me. Scared me. The only drawback to this battery is that it's only 2 amp hours. And this was very cheap too. So most 72 volt systems cost around $500, $1,000, just because they increase the amp hours to the battery. This is only 2 amp hours, so that's equivalent to about an hour. It's basically an hour. That's how long it lasts. That's how long it can output 80 volts. It drops though, so but it has enough power to definitely run this motor though. I also chose the brush motor because it was less complicated to deal with, and this wouldn't be a very interesting video, to be honest. So if I just made a regular type of e-bike, I'm experimenting with some stuff, so to make it more interesting, and still have the frame. I've been meaning to spray paint it like orange and black too. I wonder if I got all the components though. I forgot to mention this PWM system. It's 80 volts. It's an 80 volt PWM. The voltage, it regulates the voltage for the 80 volts that's going in here, and then this is the motor contacts. So I'm trying to simplify it as much as I can. I might or might not have to use it. I have the brush motor here. I have it's a It's a brushless motor. It's a brushless motor throttle. I ordered it off Amazon, and I'm converting it into a brush motor, so it can come into the contacts of the brush motor. So probably gonna have to strip this whole thing out. I only need the twisting mechanism because the twisting mechanism allows me to go and let go at the same time. So. Also, another thing, got so many things. Uh, I got this sprocket. Um, I have not. Look, I know you can change the sprocket on that motor, but the sprocket fits perfectly. Uh, it fits. It fits perfectly on here though. The only thing it doesn't fit perfectly on is the hub to the wheel. This hub is from Shimano, and this hub is it's got I think around 32 32 teeth. No, no wait, that's not 32 teeth. Depending on how many teeth there is, the teeth are just too big for the chain. That's all it is. Um, but it kind of does work. It does hold on to it if you have if you if you grip the chain to the gear hard enough to where it does hold on to it. It's kind of iffy right there, so I can't really. And I've been working for a long time on the steering part of this bike. Um, it's quite tricky because I have to get the proper bearings for it, and I have to weld it at an angle. I would have or not weld it. I did buy a welder just in case I do need to weld it because I've been having trouble with that. That's pretty much it. You know. Is this hanging off? Unfortunately, I had to take apart the motor due to the negative terminal coming off of here again. It's right there. Little piece right there. Yeah. Came off. I'm not that good with soldering, so what I tried to solder it to its connection, but I'm not gonna attempt because I might break it, So, and then I'm gonna have to spend all this time trying to fix it. And, there's the brushes too. It's kind of annoying because you gotta pop the brushes back in and make sure that they enter these springs. They're like right back into the springs so that it could connect to the terminal contact to this rotor. This thing is smooth, by the way, really smooth. Here's what the inside of the rotor looks like. You know, right here, I was hot gluing it yesterday. This wire. This is the, this is one of the trigger wires that I'm gonna use for the trigger, and it's gonna slide. It's gonna hold up. There we go. There we go. There we go. I'm trying to keep this steady. This metal piece right here is slides to this wire and connects the two circuits with this wire, and I'm trying to adjust this wire to connect to the plate inside of here that goes to this brushless motor throttle. No, I didn't need the electronics because I knew they weren't gonna really survive in a way, even though the description did say 80 volts, which probably a lie. But I'm just testing out these wires to see if they're good too. They're probably, I may have to change them though, like, because 80 volts can produce a lot of current. But I think this motor can last just a little long for this power, for this much power. It's around 27 amps maximum. But I think we can push a little bit more than that, to be honest. We're being generous. Okay, I think it's ready to be tested. It's at 31 volts max. Right there. I already tested it out, so I want you guys to see it though. Nice. Again, much. It's pretty cool, man. It's not the most perfect throttle, but what I did was connected. Now there's gonna be a case over it to where there's gonna be a case over it to where I can block the sparks, but I'm gonna at least try, you know, to prevent that. Other than that, it works. Here you go. You all get front row seats. Plug it in. Terminals are in the wrong direction. Alright, I just tested with the 80 volt battery and it's even really powerful. Instant, like very instant. the motor is not, it's not hot, bro. So it could get hot like a little bit after a while, but you know, won't be as big of a deal. You just gotta cool down the motor. I'll figure that part out later. But it's very, it stood up. Like everything turned out pretty much okay. Um, on 80 volts, but this is not 31 volt. This is 81. But on a 48 volt battery, on a 48 volt motor, 1,000 watt. Boom. We're not on the 31 volt anymore. Let's turn that off, actually.